Hi dear friends, click on the like button, that is the thumbs up button, press the subscribe button and the bell icon, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram.
Hi guys, and welcome to another vlog. This is the first Range Rover on my vlog, and it is the Velar. And let's straight away get to the headlights. Now these are the smallest headlights to have been ever fitted on a Land Rover vehicle, and look at them, they look so sleek. So you have the option of opting for laser lights, which are similar to Audi's matrix lights. Now this is for the headlamp washer, these are for the front parking sensors, and the design of this car, I mean, it needs to get full marks for it. It should get full marks for it. Just looks so splendid. I mean, obviously this isn't the top of the line variant, and you have a lot of interior as well as exterior customization options. Now these are 19-inch wheels, and these are 5-spoke units. Obviously black rims could have looked better, and there is the option to get that. Meanwhile, the party trick of this car, I'm going to show it to you, and it comes from the F-Type. It was there on the F-Type earlier, and now it comes on this car as well. Here we go. And the door handles come out when you unlock the car. How cool is that? So all you do is press the lock button and it goes inside. Now for people like me who are kind of, insecure that whether the car is locked or not, and you come out and again check if it's locked or not, all you need to do is see the door handles, or you press this button and there it comes out, and it's there on all the 4 doors. That is so cool. I mean, this is by far the coolest feature of the Velar. Now you can see from the side profile, it looks absolutely smashing. I mean, it actually rivals the coupe SUVs from BMW and Mercedes, the X6 and the GLE coupe respectively, but it isn't an SUV coupe as such, but the design language is mind-blowing. What a lovely looking car. I mean, full marks to Land Rover for the design of this vehicle. In fact, the attention to detail is so massive, like you can't really see where the rear windscreen wiper is because it's hidden below that. That is a very unique touch. Gets an integrated spoiler with a stop lamp, Range Rover badging, it has piano black touches, and this P250 tells you that this car produces 250 horsepower with the variant name written here, which is SE. Beautiful tail lights, so much attention, and as you can see, they just look fabulous. So much detailing on the inside, simply wow. This is a Range Rover which has so much attention to detail, which looks so fantastic that I'm sure many people would want to buy it just for its design alone. And enough of me walking all around the car. There's actually too much to talk about the design itself, but let's quickly get into the interiors, which means that I should open the boot, and here opens the boot. So you can see the reverse camera there, and this is the boot of the car. Now the best part about the boot is that it gets a full size spare wheel with an alloy. Yes, that's right, a full size spare wheel on an SUV which is 255, 55, 19. That's simply so practical. The boot is big enough, and you also get a 12-volt power socket here at the rear if you want to put a refrigerator or something for camping, and then hook here, speakers, plenty of hooks here at the rear. This is for the parcel shelf, and this car's second row seats actually split forward into 40, 20, 40. So this is how you close the boot. And let's quickly get into the rear seat. Now this is an experience in itself to open the door, and you can recline the rear seat using this button for added comfort. Again, a very splendid touch. Isofix child seat mounts, doors feel really robust, plenty of storage space in the doors. You can easily put a 1-liter bottle as well. AC vents are placed on the pillars as well as over here, and doors shut with a thud. The window is slightly small. You kind of sit low. Under thigh support isn't the best. There's decent amount of legroom and kneeroom. I haven't pushed this all the way ahead. It is for a person to sit ahead, which means that there's decent amount of kneeroom and legroom in this car. Meanwhile, a person in the middle won't fit because there's this transmission tunnel, and although it gets 3 adjustable headrests at the rear, you really cannot access the charging ports, which is placed inside the rear center armrest. So when you recline the rear center armrest, that's only when you can actually use this USB charging port here. There are 2 of them, so plenty of charging points in this car. Now there is a 12-volt socket here as well, and there is a proper rear AC controls. So this has got 4-zone climate control, and you can completely adjust the air conditioning over here. So that is again a very nice touch. Nice to operate these knobs are, and there are magazine holders here as well. Slightly scooped out seat back. Headroom is good, I would say, but somehow I find under thigh support lacking. Seats feel extremely comfortable, But how is it at the front? And at the front is really where the action is, because the interior is a tech fest. So let's do one thing, let's go there. So here we are in the driving seat of the Range Rover Velar, and as you can see, there are too many screens around, so it says Land Rover as soon as I sat inside the car. The door feels very robust, plenty of space in the front doors as well to keep 1 liter bottles, and you can see there's the British Union Jack design on the speakers up front. These are for the memory seats of the driver, power window controls. And the best thing about Jaguar Land Rover cars is that by pressing this button you can child lock the rear doors. That is so cool because you don't have to manually do it. It's such a pain to do it manually. This is to open the boot from here itself. This is for the parking brake, the handbrake. And this car also gets steering adjust both for rake and reach, that is electronically. Again, a very nice touch. The only problem I feel right now is that to turn on the car I have to actually look from here unless and until I get used to pressing this button. And you can see the button, it is placed in a very wrong position. Sorry Land Rover, it should have been slightly visible. So here we turn on the car, left foot on the brake, sorry, right foot on the brake, and I have turned on the car right now, and it is come to a start. Very silent, barely you can hear anything inside the cabin. These armrests at the front are separate for both the driver as well as the co-passenger, and here you can open yours and the others as well. So you get HDMI, SIM, 12 volt charging socket, USB, everything over here. Not really deep space here, you can't keep much actually, but yeah, that's good. It does have good amount of space inside the cabin to keep stuff, like you can keep a bottle here, keep the keys here, again 12 volt socket here. And the car feels extremely nice. Let me quickly show you this beautiful screen system, but before that let me press this Land Rover button and voila, it opens another cubby hole. That is again so cool. So piano black finishing all around, and let me turn off the air conditioning so it doesn't make noise. Now it has this amazing twin 10-inch screens. So now let me turn on the car, and this screen actually retracts out and is adjustable, so you can adjust it up till 30 degrees, so you know it is easily in your line of sight. Now it gets a lot of information here as well, and Land Rover calls it the Touch Pro Duo. So 2 screens. These rotary knobs are excellent, just fantastic. So you can see this screen has a lot of information. So you know, if I want to get into reverse, it'll show me the reverse parking camera, and obviously like it has guidelines which are adaptive. Higher models will also get 360-degree parking camera, and there are a lot of features in the high-end model, but let's talk about this particular car. So let me get into parking once again. Now you have seen this rotary gear selector actually comes up when you turn on the car, and this other screen, it's a very fluid system, so there are very few buttons. So actually there's only one button for the volume over here. This is for the traction control, this is for the downhill assist, and this is for the air conditioning. Now I am on the climate right now, so I can decide where do I want the AC to actually come. So basically let me go into the rear AC, and I can choose if I want to turn off the climate at the rear. I can also lock it, so people at the rear cannot actually operate the air conditioning. It only operates from here. So very nice system over here, this touchscreen system to operate everything. And this is right now I'm in climate, so let me turn off the climate, so it's turned off, and then I can go into audio as well and operate the audio system from here as well. Go into settings, display, like there's so much customization here. I can go into vehicle, I can decide the driving mode, so there are plenty of driving modes, actually 6 driving modes. So I can choose the driving modes over here. So I can go into dynamics, it changes the display here. Eco again changes the display, shows some sort of green. Then this is the default mode, which is comfort. Then I can get into gravel, grass and snow mode, or I can even get into mud and ruts, and I can obviously get into sand mode. So you know, this is the button to turn off, start, stop. There's just plenty of information. So this has the terrain management system, but it doesn't get a low range. However, when I get into this vehicle now, I don't need to press the button on the touchscreen. I can simply toggle like this and click, and there we are. Similarly, if I'm getting into climate right now, while operating the climate system, so I've turned it on, and it is telling me what is the temperature here. So I can choose for both zones, or I can also, you know, decide how much I want the intensity of the air conditioning to be. So this actually changes according to what mode I get into. Again, a very nice touch. Now there is this fully digital screen over here, and this is actually customizable. So you know, I can get into vehicle settings, and there are a lot of things actually to explore here itself. And if I make a video only on that, now this video will never get over. So just let me quickly show you some few interesting things. Firstly, this is a touch system. These audio controls and this cruise control is completely touch based, and right now if you can see, this is for the call button, but when a call comes now, the upper one glows green and the lower one glows red. I can actually customize how I want the display to be. So right now if I go into the display, I can actually choose to see full maps, and once I do that, guess what happens? And voila, Yes, it will completely show me maps, nothing else. So that completely takes away the distraction while driving. And let me turn that off. So a fantastic tech fest happening inside this car. Plenty of features. So it gets an auto dimming inside rear view mirror. This thing gets a light as well, both sides obviously. And this one gets a large panoramic roof. Mind you, the roof does not open, but the sunblind does. And the good thing about this car is that usually what happens when I'm driving in the evening, I'll open this and I'll park the car sometimes outside and I'll forget to close it. Now what happens is when I forget to close it the next day due to greenhouse, there's a lot of heat which comes inside the car, and then when I get inside the car, I have to actually get ice and put ice on the seat and then sit. But in this car, it's smart enough to know that okay, someone is actually leaving the sunblind open in the night. It automatically closes it when you leave the car. That is superb. Now you can see the dashboard looks excellent. It has good quality. There's piano black touch here. It looks very modern and youthful. One thing I don't understand, why there's so much gap below here. Like, is it to keep stuff, or you know, I can just remove my hand from there? But yeah, this could have had probably a proper slot to keep stuff, or they could have hidden something over there and closed this. So that's something which I don't understand. Meanwhile, the glove box is decent sized, and you might be wondering what is a penguin doing inside the glove box of this car. So this isn't really a big glove box. I can just barely fit things in, and the reason I got this penguin is because I don't have budgets to hire a person. So while driving, the system can get quite complex. So this is the third day of the Velar with me, but still I'm not used to the system. Even the Volvo XC90 and the S90 and the V90 get a big touchscreen system wherein everything can be operated. However, this takes some time to get used to, and I personally haven't got used to. So you're driving and then you're like, okay, I need to, you know, change my driving mode. Oh no, I'm in climate control right now, but wait, I want to change my driving mode. Wait, how do I do it? And then you're like all of a sudden searching stuff because you have to go through the touchscreen menus and you can't really concentrate on driving. And that's the reason I have hired this penguin, because I don't have budgets otherwise. So you know, if anytime I want to change any mode in driving, then all I have to do is tell him, her, whatever, that can you please just change this mode for me? So that becomes quite convenient. Meanwhile, I think the use of this penguin is that I can stuff her here. And yeah, I think this is a Teddy cubby hole. So this car gets a Meridian sound system which offers fantastic audio quality. And let's do one thing, let's straight away play a track. As you can see, or rather hear, the audio system offers fantastic audio quality. The cabin feels like a very nice place to be in. Quality levels are good, definitely an improvement over older Land Rovers. However, it's not perfect. A slight amount of panel gaps can be seen if you really hunt into places, but that's really not a big deal. The doors have the sketch of the Velar on the B pillar. When you open the car at night, the mirrors will project the Velar's sketch on the ground. Since I have now transferred to the night, let me tell you two things which are very important about this car. Firstly, shockingly, it doesn't get Apple CarPlay or Android Auto connectivity. I kid you not, when I found that out, I was in complete shock. And secondly, this phone connectivity shows this phone in the center of a desert, which doesn't make any sense. And another quirky bit in this cabin is turn on the light. You just touch this and there it turns on. So whichever light you select, it actually comes back to default. So you really don't know what you have chosen right now. And let me also show you the lights at night. Another thing I need to tell you, which is very important, is that there are dynamic variant. It's basically the sportier variant of the Range Rover Velar, wherein there's a body kit and matte finish on the alloys and stuff like that, even on the grille. So you can see the headlights, they're extremely powerful. Oh my god, they are blinding. So extremely powerful, and they really lit up the road at night. Fantastic headlights, and even the tail lights, they are just fabulous. They look amazing at night. Here you can see it. So the car also gets ambient lighting. Now it's turned on, it kind of revs when it's turned on. So you can see this ambient lighting right now showing this red because it's in dynamic mode. Now once I shift into eco mode, it will turn into green. Obviously you can configure all this, and it's so cool that you can actually decide the interior lighting, the ambient lighting of the car depending on the mood. I really love this red one in dynamic mode. That's so awesome. So now it's time for us to transfer back to day.